In this video, I'm going to discuss how to analyze a routing table. So what I've got is a question here from a CCNA quiz. And it says, refer to the routing table. What route will BC1 select for packets with destination IP address 172.16.115? I've got the results of show IP route here. If I start at the top here, the first one is a default route, and that goes to next hop 192.168.1.2. And then I've got some 172.16.1 routes. So that's going to work okay since I want to go to 172.16.1 subnet. So the first one is a /24. The next one's a /27. Third one is a /26. The 172.16.2 is the wrong subnet. So all I'm interested in is the 172.16.1 since the destination IP address is 172.16.1. So it's a question of selecting between the three routes available. What route will be selected by the router? The first one has a D protocol code, so that's the IGRP 172.16.1/24 subnet mask. And the second one is an OSPF route, and the third one is a static route. So based on longest match rule, the router is going to select 172.16.1.0/27. So it'll select that route, and it's got next hop 192.168.2.2, and that's local interface gig02 that the packets will exit. There's the correct answer there, OSPF 172.16.1/27. It is longest match rule. It's got the longest subnet mask. Here I've got an explanation for it. The other thing to keep in mind is anytime you have a longest match rule, even though you've got a route that has the longest match or the longest subnet mask, it does have to be within range of the IP address. This is where it can get a little tricky. So if you do the subnetting on 172.16.1/27, the network address is .0. Then the host range will start at 172.16.1.1 through to 1.30. And that's based on the fact that it's a /27 mask. So the 172.16.115 is within that host range. The other thing to keep in mind is, although the 172.16.131 is the broadcast address, that would be included as well. So if I had 172.16.1.31, for example, is an IP address, this would still be included. The fact that it's a broadcast address wouldn't stop the router from selecting this route. Then the static route is the /26, so it's disqualified since the /26 is a shorter subnet mask. If you go to the range, it actually is within range since it goes from 1.1 through to 1.15. So the problem is the subnet mask for /27 is longer. In the IGRP route, that's a /24, so check if it's within range firstly. So 1 through 254, it's definitely within range. That's got a full Class C address. The problem is it's a /24, so it's a shorter subnet mask than the OSPF route. Something to note as well, with this static route, for example, if I made this 172.16.1.16/28, for example, now on the surface, a /28 is a longer match, but the problem is it's going to be out of range, because if my network address starts at 16, that means the host addressing would start at 17, and that add 14 addresses to that, so it would go up to /30, then 31 would be the broadcast. The problem, like I said, is it would be out of range within the host addresses, since host address range would start at 1.17. So although it has a longer subnet mask, it's out of range, and therefore the OSPF route would be selected.